Hello students, welcome to my channel. And today I am going to start chapter 3, that is metal and non-metals. So first of all we will discuss about what are metals and non-metals. So metals and non-metals are elements. What are elements? We have already studied in class 9, but let's have some discussion about it. So anything in the world that occupies space and have mass is called matter. Okay, and matter is made up of atoms. So elements are those atoms which cannot be broken down into simplest form by chemical or physical activities. मीन्स मैटर का सबसे स्मॉलेस्ट फॉर्म एटम है, और अगर हम एक एटम को फिजिकली या केमिकली ब्रेक डाउन नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, दैट एटम आर कॉल्ड एलिमेंट्स. दीज आर द प्योर सब्सटेंसेस. इनको हम प्योर सब्सटेंसेस कहते हैं. ओके, नाउ द नेक्स्ट इज एक्चुअली elements are divided into three. You will also study in class 9th, and also we will study in periodic classification of class 10th. Okay, so it is divided into three: metals, non-metals and metalloids. Metals are generally those elements which has following physical properties. They are lustrous, means they are shining. They are hard, means their molecules or atoms are tightly packed. They are malleable, means they can be drawn into thin sheet as gold, silver. They are more ductile, means they can be drawn into a wire, as for example gold can be 1 gram gold can be drawn into 2 kilometers of wire. And they are good conductor, means as we are using cooking utensils and electric wires, they are made up of metals and they are good conductor. They have high melting point, as we are using for cooking utensils. As you can see, we give it high temperature to cook food, but it doesn't melt, means they have high melting point. They are sonorous, means if we strike it, then if it is striken, then it will give ringing sound. And they are generally solid in shape. Okay, if we talk about the non-metals are dull in appearance. Okay, they are not shining, they are not lustrous. They have rough surface, as like you can say silica, or you can say the common carbon. Okay, and they are soft in nature, as you can see coal is a carbon, it is soft, we can hammer it to break it. And they are non-malleable, they cannot be drawn into sheet or wire. They are insulated bed conductor they are, and they are non-sonorous and having low melting point generally. If we talk about the metalloids are elements which have the property of metals and non-metal. For example, silicon. If we have silicon at room temperature, then it is an insulator, but if we increase the temperature slightly more, then it becomes the conductor. So these are used in the solar battery or solar panel. Okay, so some of the exceptions are there regarding these general properties we have already discussed, but some of the exceptions are there. Exception are mercury is liquid at room temperature, and gallium, caesium. Mercury is a metal, but it is we have already studied that metal are solid, but mercury is a metal which is liquid at room temperature. It is used in thermometer. Gallium and caesium, they are also metal, but they have low melting point, and we have studied that metals have high melting point. Iodine is a non-metal. They should not be lustrous, but iodine is lustrous, they are shining. Carbon is a non-metal with high melting and boiling point, and also carbon is a good conductor. Alkali metals are those metals which can be dissolved in water. So lithium, sodium, potassium, these can be dissolved in water, and these are so soft that you can cut it with a knife, and they are low in density and having low melting point also. So these are the exceptions that we have to study in class 10th, and these are very important at the objective points of view. Okay, now metals and non-metals chemical properties. So first of all we will study about the chemical properties of metals. So what are the chemical properties? If we burn metals in the presence of air, then it forms oxide. For example, if copper is burnt in the presence of oxygen, it will form copper oxide. And metal oxide is when it reacts with acid, it forms salt and water. For example, copper oxide, as it formed in the burning of copper with oxygen, it forms copper oxide. And copper oxide react with HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, and it forms copper chloride and water. Okay, so the general thing we have to remember that metal react with oxygen to give metal oxide, and when metal oxide react with acid, it gives salt. Okay, so something important to note here that some of the metal oxides, they react both with acids and bases. Okay, these metal oxides are amphoteric oxides. Some of the example as given in your NCERT and important for the exam are aluminium oxide. So here aluminium oxide, this one is the aluminium oxide. It reacts with acid to give aluminium chloride and water. Aluminium chloride and water. Okay, and again you can see it is also reacting with base, sodium hydroxide. Okay, sodium hydroxide, and it gives sodium aluminate and water. So here aluminium oxide is reacting with both acids and base. Generally metal oxide react with acid, but some of the metal oxides are there which are reacting with both acid as well as base. So this metal oxide is called aluminium oxide. Some of the metal oxides are also dissolved in water. They are called alkalis. Okay, so sodium oxide, potassium oxide, both are metal oxides, and they are reacting with water. They are dissolving with water and forms bases. These are the bases because it has OH group. OH group, as I have already taught in acid, bases and salt, that the compound which contain hydroxide and they are the bases. So these are the bases. It forms bases, means metal oxide when react with water, it forms bases. Okay, so this is the, now we will discuss about the reaction of metal with oxygen. So here if potassium, we talk about the potassium and sodium, they are highly reactive. They are highly reactive with water and oxygen also. So when it react with oxygen, it catches fire. So they are kept in kerosene oil. It may come in 1 marks question. Okay, why it is kept in the water? Okay, why it is kept in kerosene oil? So because they are vigorously react, means it gives lots of fire and it may cause accident. That's why these are kept in kerosene oil, so that they remain on contact with the air and water. Okay, now if we talk about the magnesium, aluminum, lead and zinc, they form oxide which react with oxygen, and it forms the layer of metal oxide. Means if magnesium react with oxygen, it form magnesium oxide, aluminum oxide, lead oxide and zinc oxide. So these form layer over the metal. Suppose this is the aluminum metal. Okay, when it react, when its surface containing aluminum atom, it react with oxygen, it forms a aluminum oxide layer. ये एक aluminum oxide का layer बनाएगा. And what is its advantages? That the inner layer, जो अंदर का जो layer है aluminium का, it doesn't have any contact with the oxygen, and thus the inside metal get prevented by oxidization. Okay, so this is the advantages of forming aluminum oxide or any metal oxide over the metal. The next one is the iron filling. Iron fillings can iron has high melting point and boiling point, but if we put iron fillings on the flame, it react vigorously, बहुत तेजी से वो जलता है और lots of flame वो cause करता है. Now next one is the copper. Copper does not burn with hot metal, and it doesn't burn, but we have already studied at the previous point that copper react with oxygen to form copper oxide. So this copper oxide is black in color. So when the copper utensils or copper utensils react with oxygen, it forms black layer. You can observe it at your home also. If you have copper utensils, then you can see that the black layer forms over the copper layer, because this is copper oxide. It reacts with oxygen to form copper oxide, that is black in color. Okay, and silver, gold, they are non-reactive with the oxygen. That's why it is used for making jewelry. One of the important point it is that it doesn't react with oxygen and water also. They are very least reactive in the reactivity series also. That's why these are used for making jewelry, and they are shining also and lustrous also. They can be drawn, they are malleable and ductile also. So these 5 points are important for the silver and gold, why these are used to make jewelry. Okay, now important thing to note here, that is anodizing. What is anodizing? As I said you that aluminum oxide cover the aluminum layer and form the aluminum oxide, and thus it prevent the inner layer of the metal from getting oxidized. The same process taken here, anodizing it. इसमें हम यही करते हैं, we forms the aluminum oxide layer over the aluminum metal. Okay, how can we do it? Let's see. We can take a container. It is just like a electrolysis process. Container लेते हैं और the thing that we have to anodize, जिस पे हमें anodize करना है. Anodize means making aluminium oxide layer over the aluminium के ऊपर aluminium oxide की लेयर बनाना, इसको हम anodizing कहते हैं. तो एल्युमिनियम मेटल पे जिस पे हमें एनोडाइजिंग करना है उसको हम एनोड से कनेक्ट करेंगे. एंड अनदर वन विद द कार्बन प्लेट, कार्बन इलेक्ट्रोड जो कैथोड होगा. एंड वी पुट सम एसिड हियर इन द एक्वस फॉर्म. व्हेन वी सप्लाई इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, व्हेन वी सप्लाई चार्जेस ओवर हियर, तो क्या होगा, H2 और SO4 दे बोथ गेट डिसोसिएट. ये डिसोसिएट होंगे और ये माइनस है सल्फेट, तो इट विल ऑल्सो रिलीज ऑक्सीजन आयन. तो ये ऑक्सीजन आयन जो है वो जाएगा, बिकॉज ऑक्सीजन हैज़ निगेटिव पावर और निगेटिव आयंस, इट इज कटायन. तो इट विल मूव टू द एनोड की तरफ जाएगा, बिकॉज इट कैरी पॉजिटिव चार्ज. तो निगेटिव एंड पॉजिटिव तो बोथ अट्रैक्ट ईच अदर. तो ये इसके ऊपर जाएगा और एल्युमिनियम ऑक्साइड की लेयर ये फॉर्म करता रहेगा और इस तरीके से ये पूरा जो है वो एल्युमिनियम ऑक्साइड से कवर हो जाएगा. दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एनोडाइजिंग. इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द रिएक्शन ऑफ मेटल विथ वाटर. टिल देन, थैंक यू चिल्ड्रन, एंड प्लीज लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब माई चैनल फॉर getting more videos. Thank you.